Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new, welcome. My name is Monica, and for those who are not new, welcome back. It's great to see you here again. Thank you for hanging out with me. Today I have a vlog for you. So Melissa gave me a list of 3 books to read. It was originally gonna be 4 books, but I read Kate Bateman and she didn't realize I read Kate Bateman. So anyway, this stemmed from a live video chat where I gave her 4 books that I think she should read. Anyway, so here's are the 3 books that she has given me for this TBR, and I'm going to film this and tag her in it so she can see my thoughts. The first book that she assigned to me is A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas, because she wants me to be able to finish the Court of Thorns and Roses series. And then the second one she's going to have me read is King of the Court by R.S. Gray, which is a contemporary sports romance. And then the last one is Broken Records by Bree Bennett. Bree Bennett is a new to me author, and this is a marriage of convenience rockstar romance, and I can't wait to get started. So without further ado, here is my vlog.
Good morning, everybody. I am 22% of the way into A Court of Silver Flames. Cassian is incredibly sweet. He's frustrated with her right now. She's like, I don't want to train, and he figured out that she just didn't want to train in front of people who didn't like her or were gonna make fun of her because, well, I mean, and I don't disagree with her, and I'm really happy that Cassian has picked up on it, and that he's given her grace, but not so much that she's sabotaging herself like she has been for what, 9 months or so, or a year after the battle at the end of the Court of Wings in Ruin. A Court of Silver Flames has a different tone and a different feel than ACOTAR, A Court of Mist and Fury, and A Court of Wings in Ruin. So yeah, I understand why people either they love this one or they don't, because I feel like when you're going into this from those 3 books, you want the same tone, the same feelings and stuff, and you're not getting them in this book. At least I'm not getting them in this book. This is wholly different. This is not like Feyre's like she's a badass. So is Nesta, but Nesta is in a lot of pain, so much so that she's shutting everybody out. Whereas Feyre was like, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and you're just gonna have to go along with it. So Feyre and Nesta are very similar, but also very different. Anyway, I do need to get to work. I'm running a little late thanks to daylight savings times. This is killing everybody. Anyway, I'll talk to you when I have something else to talk about. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next clip. Bye. Hey guys, so it's Tuesday afternoon. I left work early because I have a doctor's appointment. So I have been listening to A Court of Silver Flames, and I would love to have that type of house that Nesta's at, where it draws a bath for you with all the oils, gives you smutty books to read and chocolate cake while you're taking a bath, and lighting the fires and helping you find things that you can't find. That would be fantastic. I would absolutely love to have that. And oh my gosh, that library, that would be fantastic. So yeah, that's the first thing that came to my mind when I thought to update you. Chocolate cake, books, and baths. Okay, so anyway, all right, so we found out that Feyre is pregnant. They need to go after these 3 magical objects that the cauldron has made. And the crone queen, the queen who was made into a crone, I call her the crone queen because she's horrible, is trying to ally with some pretty dubious people, including I think Arius from the Fall Court, his father. Anyway, because she wants power. She she wants to be all powerful and not old. So she's going after Nesta. And so Nesta or Elaine needs to go and find these artifacts. Well, Nesta's not going to let Elaine do that. It's a whole thing. Nesta and Cassian. So Cassian is starting to break her down a little bit by little bit. We got some sexy times from them. But it felt kind of disingenuous a little bit. I'm like, because she hasn't completely healed and he's trying to push her buttons, I think. Anyway, because I mean, you know that they are mates, so it's gonna be a thing, I think. Anyway, so we know that there's a lot of intrigue going on, and now some of the priestesses in the library are going to be training with Nesta and with Cassian, so that, because I have a feeling that there's another big battle coming up. Like I said, this has a different feel to it than A Court of Wings and Ruins and, well, the first 3 books of ACOTAR, but because there is definitely a different feel. This one, it's more hostile. Cassian is more frustrating than Rhysand was, or even Tamlin was. I didn't find Tamlin or Rhysand very frustrating. I find Cassian a little frustrating simply because he's very emotional. Like, he's a very emotional character. And then we have we haven't really seen Lucian, so I'm not sure what's gonna go on with him. And it sounds like that Tamlin is walking around in wolf form because she just can't deal with life anymore or something like that. But I honestly would like to see Tamlin get his happily ever after. Anyway, so I will update you as soon as I have something to update. But until then, happy reading, and I am going to get back to A Court of Silver Flames and see where it goes. All right, bye. Hey, it's Wednesday afternoon, and I did not get to update you again yesterday. My appointment went for, I was there for over 3 hours because that's how busy my doctor is. And then I got out during rush hour, so I just went to Barnes & Noble and hung out for an hour while rush hour was calming down. And then, so I didn't get home till like after 8 o'clock last night, so I didn't get a chance to update you. This is the first moment. So I am 70% of the way through A Court of, oh gosh, what's it called? My mind literally just went blank. A Court of Silver Flames. And I am enjoying every bit of it. So one of the things, like the whole mask thing in the lake with the lake monster, I can't even remember what it was just so interesting. I loved how she was able to get herself out of the situation using the mask, and that she's been training with Cassian. I feel like she's alienated so many people with how she was for the first year after the war, that she didn't ask for help when she needed help. She needed therapy. She didn't get it. And so now people are like, well, we don't trust you with these things. Like, now that she can forge these special objects, like she made that sword and the dagger and stuff and infused magic into it. They don't trust her to do the right thing. And then she didn't with Feyre when she told Pharaoh about what would happen if she gave birth. But I actually sort of appreciated that, because it's Feyre's body. She should know what is going on with her body. So, well, I get why Rhys didn't want her to know. It was the wrong decision, but it was also wrong for Nesta to say it how and when she said it, because it was told out of anger. And I'm really enjoying Nesta and Cassian as a couple, and I love the whole Valkyrie thing. I just feel like it needs to move a little faster, and just dragging just a hair. But again, I guess it is just because it's a fantasy. They're just gonna be fast. They're just gonna be bigger stories. Anyway, 70%, I am going to probably say it's a 4.5, because I feel like it could have moved a little more than what it has. I'm sorry if this is bouncing. I don't have the best holder for my phone, but it is what it is. So that's how I'm feeling. I loved, and the thing is, and I don't know if I said it in the last clip, and if I did, then I'll edit this out. If I didn't, well, then I want to say this. So the one thing that I've noticed about ACOTAR Silver Flames is that Nesta has PTSD, and I know I did say that, I think yesterday or the day before. No, yesterday or Sunday, because I didn't update you on Monday because I couldn't. So here's the thing, is someone very close to me has PTSD. And if you were in that live chat yesterday, you know who it was. And a lot of the stuff that Feyre did, specifically right after the war, where she's drinking and having lots of meaningless sex with random guys and gambling too much, and getting into fights and being just wholly nasty to everybody. Those are symptoms of PTSD, because they're trying to purge what happened to them, what has caused this trauma, without actually dealing with it. And she did confirm it when she was talking about how she would storm off at the beginning when they had all these bonfires and stuff, and she would run off because they thought she was just being angry and intolerant, when in fact the crackling fire just brought her back to when her father's neck was broken and the cracking of the bones. The one thing is that's helping her is training with the girls in the library, with the priestesses in the library, because they all have their own trauma, so they sort of understand what's going on with her. And same with Cassian, and Cassian is helping her. I mean, he's obviously not, this is not a situation where it's making up for therapy. This is a situation where she's doing the best she can and trying to heal herself and accept what is going on and who she is now. And I really, really, really appreciate it. I think that Sarah J. Maas either did her research well, or she knows someone who has PTSD. That's why I am not angry with Nesta and Cassian. That's why I love them together, and that's why I love Nesta as a character. She's she's very angry and cold, but there's reasons. I mean, what happened to her when she was a kid made her angry. I understand that, and I get it, and I get that she has this trauma, but she's not talking to anybody, so they all think she's this horrible, bitchy person, and she's really, well, I mean, yeah, she is bitchy. I mean, we all get that way, I guess, but the thing is that I have empathy for her, and therefore I don't hate her, and I get it. So I mean, I was just listening to a Rachel Reason-Sing's video on Cold-Hearted Reich, and how not everybody likes Catherine. She couldn't understand it, but she gets who Catherine is. And, well, I don't like Catherine as a character. I'm Cold-Hearted Reich by Lisa Kleypas, but I appreciate the way she is as a character. That being said, I know people who don't like Nesta as a character, so I get it. I get what Rachel is saying, because I feel the same way about Nesta. I feel like she is an underappreciated character who went through a lot of crap, and this is a very different story from A Court of Thorns and Roses and the Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy. So anyway, that's my update, And I will talk to you when I probably finish the book later on today. I am about 30% away to the end, so I will be finishing it today. And then that's it for this series. I actually finished it. That's shocking. Okay, I'll update you in a little bit. Bye. Hey guys, so it is Thursday afternoon. Last night I finished A Court of Silver Flames. I'm giving it 5 stars. It if I had to rank them right now, number 1 is still A Court of Mist and Fury. Then number 2 is A Court of Silver Flames. Number 3 is A Court of Wings and Ruin. And number 4 is A Court of Thorns and Roses. And number 5 would be A Court, the novella. I don't even remember the name of it because it should not exist. There's no purpose serving it. Anyway, okay, so I love Nesta and how she basically sacrificed her power to save her sister and her nephew, and I loved how she and her friends worked together to defeat all these horrible men who were trying to kill them because they were female warriors like the Valkyrie. At least they were trying to be. And how Cassian, he loved her so much he was able to go against the crown when he was being controlled, and how she brought it herself, and how Nesta really grew. She grew so much as a character in this, and I've loved every single minute of it. So yeah, that is absolutely 5 stars. I would recommend it, honestly. The only reason why I did not beat A Court of Mist and Fury is because of I loved how Reese and Feyre are together, and that it was sort of an easier read. This Court of Silver Flames has a different vibe to it, whereas A Court of Mist and Fury has kind of, I wouldn't say lighter vibe, it's not as heavy, and I really enjoyed their romance. So, but I have to say Cassian is, I actually kind of like him better than Rhysand, I'm not gonna lie. But I don't know, maybe I like A Court of Silver Flames better than A Court of Mist and Fury. I'm gonna think on this and I'll let you know at the wrap up and let you know what I really think, because I need to sit on it to see how I truly feel in another day or two. Anyway, okay, so now I'm 10% of the way through King of the Court by R.S. Gray, and this is the second book that Melissa picked out for me, and so far it's fine. I'm not completely sure where this is going because I've been purposely not trying to listen to anybody's feelings or anything I don't really want to know. I do know that there's going to be a time jump, but that's all I really know, and that it gets really, really good after a while. So I'm holding up, and I'm going to make sure that I get it done hopefully tomorrow.
It is Friday night, and okay, I finished King of the Court, and it was really good. It was a quick, easy read, and I generally love quick, easy reads. The heroine, she was really trying to work through a lot of her problems, specifically around caretaking, and I really enjoyed that part. There is on-page sexual harassment and assault, specifically her boss, so this is in the workplace, so be aware of that going in. This is a sports romance basketball. You don't get a lot of basketball on page, but I still really have enjoyed it. She's really poor because she's trying to take care of her grandmother. The one thing that kind of bothered me is that when Ben, who's the hero, said, "Let me help you," she was very proud and was like, "No, I can do it myself." And I'm just like, girl, you living in a broke down trailer in the middle of nowhere, Texas, and this guy is saying, "Hey, let me help you take care of your grandmother." I would have been like, please do. Like, if someone ever says, "Hey, Monica, let me take care of all your student loans," I'd be like, yes, please do so, okay? Why won't you take them up on that? Anyway, but they have a lot of chemistry. She is technically a virgin hero. There is a gap in between time because of some stuff that blows up. It is other woman drama, but it's not crazy other woman drama, and it's actually not even really that. I can't really explain it without spoiling it, but it's the kind that doesn't bother me. It's the kind that interests me. And it is a surprise pregnancy, but not in the way that it's a surprise pregnancy. You just have to read it to understand it. But anyway, so that brought in a lot of the angst, but also what she was dealing with brought in some angst. And she's this incredibly intelligent woman. She left Caltech to take care of her grandmother, who was in a nursing home because she couldn't do it all on her own. And really, you really can't when you're a caretaker. After they part, there's a time jump, and it's not a long time jump. It's like, what, a year and a half, something like that. And her grandmother died, and so she went back to Caltech. They reunite at a basketball game, which is great. He's a pining hero. She's also pining, so it's mutual pining, and even through the time jump, and it is just so sweet. Anyway, things got wrapped up a little too neat, but I enjoyed a lot of the different characters in it. But it's not a favorite, but I really loved it. So I'm gonna give it 4.5 stars, and I'm rounding it up to 5 stars on Goodreads. Okay, yeah. And so now I started Broken Records by Bree Bennett, and I think at like chapter 3 or 4, something like that. And this is gonna be a quick one. It's in third person, so I didn't realize that going in. And third person doesn't generally bother me unless they're trying to do third person point of view, where I'm trying to get to know the characters in a third person, where you have this particular point of view or this particular point of view, and there's always generally a disconnect for me. And that is going on here, so I'm not sure yet. But I'm enjoying the heroine. She has sensory processing disorder. She has a hard time with loud noises and crowded spaces. You can tell. And she's very awkward. And I think there's some OCD where his piercings in his eyebrows, one fell out, and it kind of freaked her out a little bit because one had 3 and one had 2. And she's an encyclopedia of rock stars, of rock and roll music, and she's pretty fun. And I'm enjoying her character so far. His character, he's the typical rock star crap guy who's lost his mojo, and he's about to be dropped by his record label. And I honestly don't care about him. I'm more interested in what she's gonna do. She picked him. I guess he startled her, and she punched him in the face and made him bleed. And then she came back with cookies, but then she thought that maybe he had a gluten intolerance, so she got him locally made root beer, and then a homemade card that says, "I'm sorry for punching you in the face." I thought that was fantastic. So that one, I'm not sure yet, simply because it's too early to tell. But I think my favorite's going to be but I think for this particular vlog, and this is my hypothesis, is going to be A Court of Silver Flames, because Nesta and Cassian, there's just no doubt about it. So I will update you when I have something to update, and until then, happy reading, and I will see you in a little bit. Bye. Hey guys, okay, it is Saturday afternoon, and I finished Broken Records, which means I am done reading every book for this vlog. I am probably going to lean towards a 4-star for this particular one. I really enjoyed the characters and the character growth. I was right about the heroine, Lucy. So, excuse me, my allergies are really up, and so I'm really stuffy. She actually has PTSD and sensory processing. That's what it felt like. But she was also a domestic abuse survivor. So she didn't like to be touched before this before she was in a 14-year abusive relationship, and it just got so bad, and she had a lot of trauma that she needed to deal with. Anyway, and I liked how that was handled. Bree Bennett did a really, really good job with handling that. There is no abuse on page, but it is talked about, and you do see the aftermath because of the way she is dealing with her trauma. As for the hero, Jack, I loved his ending song. Like, this is a rockstar romance, and I'm not the biggest fan of rockstar romances, but this one was really good. I loved that at the end his song was a shanty. I thought that was fantastic. He made me laugh, which is good. He wasn't the complete cliche of a rockstar hero. I mean, he was a little bit where he was drinking and stuff, but their connection was so great. But the problem that I was facing with this, and why it cannot be for a full 5 stars for me, is I did not completely feel their connection, and I think it was because it was third person. Everything else about this story is so good. Like, I enjoyed the characters, I enjoyed their growth, I enjoyed the setup, the plot. The execution was really, really, really good. That she has this book and then one other book in the series, and I really am, and I enjoy her as a writer, so I would absolutely pick up the next book. And I would, but the reason why I can't give it a full, you know, maybe I'm being a little too judgy. I think I'm gonna actually put it up to 4.5, but I'm not gonna round it up. And the reason why is, again, the third person, but it is a very solid read, and it was fun, and I enjoyed it. And I enjoyed it in every single moment that I was in this book. So this was a good book, and I do recommend it for a rock star. Hey everybody, I'm just popping in here very quickly. I am editing this vlog, and I realized, besides the fact that my hair is really bad because I took a shower and decided not to blow dry it. Anyway, I realized that I did not say a couple of things about Broken Record that I needed to say. So the one thing that bothered me about Hook, Line, and Sinker was Tessa Bailey using a random playlist of different songs, and it didn't quite make sense to me. Bree Bennett did the same thing in Broken Records, but it made sense, specifically around the heroine, because she's an encyclopedia of rock and roll knowledge. I mean, she loves Elvis Presley. She knows who the Rolling Stones are. I'm sure that she was talking about all these very obscure bands and their different hits from like the 1950s, 60s, 70s, 80s. When she was discussing her feelings for the hero, for Jack, she said that it was like Super Bowl halftime show where Prince played Purple Rain in the rain. It was the only time the Super Bowl in the Super Bowl history where it actually rained. And it was during Prince's halftime show, which is sort of kismet. And that's what she was saying. And so I loved how she related her feelings to music the way he could understand her feelings and the way she could understand her feelings. And the thing is I was giving this 4 stars. I was going to do 4.5 and keep it down to 4. But I actually think I'm going to round it up to 5. It's not a favorite because I still didn't completely feel their chemistry, but I can't stop thinking about the uniqueness and the beauty of this story. It is so good. Bree Bennett is a fantastic writer, and so I am so glad I read this book. So, for this vlog, the first one I read was The Court of Silver Flames, 5 stars, favorite. I talked about my rating for the ACOTAR series. This is probably going to be a little controversial, but I actually think I like A Court of Silver Flames the best. So if I had to rate them, my first one, and I originally wasn't going to rate it like this because I really do love Hera and Rhysand, and I really do love Cassie and Nesta. I think they had more character growth. They had more trials to go through than Feyre, and in the less amount of time. Page-wise, I mean, Feyre and Rhysand had a lot more pages to go through. And because of that, and she is a very hard character. Nesta is an incredibly hard character because of all the crap that, because of all the stuff that she had to go through. And she is not a nice person. But the fact that she was able to have these relationships with these three women, I loved them. And I loved how they worked together to get through that challenge, and how she, at the very end, sacrificed, not grew, like Feyre did. Like, Feyre was able to get everything she wants with almost little. I mean, Feyre had her things, had her trauma, but she didn't have to give up her power to save her sister. Nesta had to give up a good portion of her power to save Feyre and Feyre's baby. And I just loved that. I loved that she was that self-sacrificing in the end. And that, to me, from the very beginning, in A Court of Thorns and Roses, where she wasn't going to do anything for Feyre or anybody else, with the exception of Elaine, to where she was at the end of A Court of Silver Flames, she deserved, her and Cassian doing everything he has done for everybody, they deserve the top spot. So it would be A Court of Silver Flames, then it would be A Court of Mist and Fury, then A Court of Wings and Ruins, then A Court of Thorns and Roses, and then the unnecessary holiday novella. So that would be my pick. The next one I read, okay, so the next one I read after A Court of Silver Flames was King of the Court. And I really did enjoy it. That was a very quick contemporary romance, basketball, and there is definitely mutual pining, a little insta-lovey, but for the amount of pages that she needed to tell the story in, I think she did a fantastic job. And I did not mind the time jump. I did not mind the drama, the other woman drama. I did not mind all the other little things in it. I thought it was done very, very well. Was it at the level of A Court of Silver Flames? No. So it's a 4.5 stars. That's what happens when you read an incredibly great book first, and then, yeah. Now, the last one I was just talking about was Broken Records by Bree Bennett, and I really enjoyed that one. But I love Bree Bennett as a writer. She is fantastic, and I would absolutely read her other book. And hopefully she'll come out with some more books soon, because she's good. And so thank you, Melissa, for getting me to finish the ACOTAR series and King of the Court, and for recommending Bree Bennett for Broken Records. Anyway, so if you made it this far in this video, please leave me a guitar emoji, since the last book I read in this vlog was a rockstar romance. And if you'd like to leave me a comment below and let me know if you've read any of these, please do so. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And happy reading, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.